Hey there. These tips are for females traveling alone. Solo travel has become very easy, but theft among tourists has also become very easy. I do not want you to become a victim. If you are flying alone, these travel tips are going to be so helpful. One of the questions I had when I was traveling by myself was, what do criminals look for when they are trying to rob a female traveler or pickpocket a tourist? Criminals look for easy targets. Tip number one is to move to the side of the sidewalk, or in the airport, move to the side of the terminal or the concourse or the bus station or the metro station. Move to the side so that your back is against something solid, so that you're not having to worry about who's behind you. If a criminal is watching you while you're touring in a city and they see that you are going to not be an easy target, they're going to keep going and go to the next easy, quickest target that they can steal from. I know it can be scary. When I was first planning my trip to Brussels, Belgium last December, I was going to be arriving at the international airport by myself, and I was gripped with fear. So I know that it can be scary, and so we are just going to prevent as much as we can and do the best we can. One of the questions I had was, how am I going to get from the airport to my hotel by myself as a female in a city I haven't been in by myself before? And here's a tip when you travel solo and you will be in an airport. Research the airport taxi ride system or the ride share system that airport has, because you can see the map of where the pickup spot is going to be, and research it, memorize it, print it out so that you are not relying on your phone when you're walking through an unknown area. My hotel said they had a free pickup, and all I had to do was call them in a country where I do not speak the language. So I was very nervous about that, but I felt safest using Uber because I've used that app a lot. Here are some tips for the metro station or a train station. Number one, you can print out directions on old school MapQuest. I still do that. Or you can jot down those directions, the simple directions, like the major directions, on Post-it notes. A third thing that you can do is to download offline maps. Research it on YouTube. They show you how to do it for whatever system your phone uses. Study the train station in detail. Watch YouTube videos to find out how to use the train system in Brussels, Belgium, or how to hail a taxi in New York City. Another tip for us ladies who are traveling solo is, do not hold your phone loosely in one of your hands, because you're watching it's just an easy target. And criminals want the fastest, easiest targets to be their victim. Here are some specific things that you can do to prevent crime when you're traveling by yourself. Tip number one is to be observant. Look around, look up, look down, look side to side before you go down a street or before you enter a hallway with no one in it, like your hotel. Look left and right to make sure, or to see if anyone's there. Another question I had before traveling by myself was, where do I get cash when I land? The easiest way is to get euros or whatever money you need before you travel if you're traveling internationally. I could not do that, so another tip I did was I emailed my hotel, and they did not have an ATM machine in their lobby. This tip would be really helpful. You're going to find a bank that's close to your hotel that has an indoor ATM. And one important tip for anywhere using an ATM machine is, people get money out of the ATM all the time, but the easy targets are the ones who flaunt the money they're pulling out. They do not have an easily accessible immediate pocket they can put that cash in when withdrawing, or they're putting in their code so everyone can see it around them. I'm not saying that ATMs on the sidewalk are not safe. I'm just saying be discreet as you can, and the safest choice is to find one that has an ATM machine inside the bank, so no one's really watching you from afar. Here are some tips that I learned out of self-defense class that I took at my church. One thing is, so that you're not an easy target, you want to not be on the outer edges. Like if I'm getting gas, the teacher told us not to get gas on the outer edges because those give criminals easy escape paths. You don't want to be the easiest target, so get gas on the inside little slots. And another thing would be on Los Rambles Street in Barcelona, do not sit on the tables on the edges because criminals can get to there quickest, or if they're sitting at the table beside you, like one of my friends had happen to them, they can escape easily if they're on that outside table. So you want a center table that is congested and surrounded by lots of tapas eating tourists. That makes you less of an easy target because they're having to get through a few tables to get to you and get away from you. Another question when traveling by yourself is, how do I hide cash, or how do I divide my cash? And I have an entire YouTube video on hidden things that you can wear that has a lot of travel hacks for hiding your cash. But here are two options. This is one that I walk my dog with. It is not RFID blocking. It does not have that technology in it. It has one loose pocket and then one long pocket that holds two passports standing vertically side by side. And then it does have a really short zippered pocket for like euros maybe. The main tip is that these hidden money belts are not to be accessed unless you absolutely have to. Like you are not going to reach for your passport while you're touring around. If you need your passport, you're going to sneak into a bathroom and put it in your crossbody bag and then put it back in there at another discrete time. Here's one that I've found, and it is so soft around your skin. If you're wearing it under your pants, it does have the buckle that is in here, and it's easy to take off with big fingers, and it is adjustable, and the strap is stretchy without gripping your skin, if that makes sense. And it does have like large pockets. That may be a deterrent to you, but your passport would easily fit in there, and it also has pockets on the inside. That's just an option if it makes your vacation less stressful because you have planned ahead by having money or cards separated. I'm going to have one credit card and some cash in my crossbody bag wallet, my thin travel one, and then I'm also going to have some cards in my hidden money belt if I don't want to use the hotel room safe, or if I don't want to keep my cards in my suitcase or some other place in a hotel. Some women will talk about the bra clip that fits right here. It's just a little pocket. I have a super old one and I could not find it, but you would only wear that if you don't want to reach for those cards while you are out touring in front of public people. That is because you don't want to keep those cards in the hotel room. You're hiding them here. You do not want to access it because that shows criminals where the easy target is. It's right there. Another tip is you can attach these zipper locks. They basically connect two zippers together. I have a slash resistant crossbody bag, but I do not travel with it a lot unless it's like in the winter and I'm in Europe. You could use these little hooks to connect your zipper to the little hook where your band connects to your crossbody bag. Or I also have one that connects the zippers on the main open pocket of my backpack. They do make little hooks that will connect your zippers that actually lock, but that's just too much for me. It's too hard for me. So this little hook just makes it take longer for them to try and get into my bag. So I want to make myself not an easy target by delaying their crime that they want to do. And if they see those hooks, they're gonna think, she's not an easy target, and they're gonna jet. Another travel tip for your crossbody bag purse is to wear it under your jacket in the winter. That's the safest time to travel, I feel like. I just feel really safe when I can easily get to my money and then put it right back. Some other tips for your crossbody bag would be to keep it close, to go in and out. You want to wear your crossbody bag across your body, even when you are sitting at a cafe outside especially. And these are just tips for you to consider. I'm not saying that I do all of these tips whenever I travel by myself. Most of the time I travel with my husband, who is a pilot, who's used to traveling, and he knows where to go. And so we don't stick out that much as tourists in cities here and in other countries. One tip to remember and to make yourself feel a little better is when you're out and about touring, you are not going to be going into your crossbody bag purse that often. So when you do, just taking a few little steps of prevention is easy enough. It's not going to take you forever, every 5 steps while you're taking a tour or something. Here's some other things you can do as a solo female traveler. One thing is to keep your VRBO address or your hotel address with you at all times, either in your phone or in a little pocket in your purse. Here is a great example, and I want you to listen to this story. When I was at the self-defense class, we go to a very large church and they have a preschool section. And this tip is to help you be observant of those around you and what's happening around you to help you not be a victim. Okay, so this lady was running late to pick up her children from the preschool area. And what happened was she pulled into the slot, but she sat in her car for a little bit. And when they looked back at the tapes, they saw 3 guys in a car. Now that's your first tip. Would you see 3 guys in a car at a preschool pickup lane parking spot? Most likely not. So one, you're looking for not people, you're looking for odd behavior. One, you would not see the 3 guys, like I said, but they were sitting in the car. And what they did was this woman parked, and then the 3 guys drove around the loop and they parked right beside her van and did not get out. That's weird behavior on top of 3 guys being at a pickup spot. So before she got out of her car, she should have noticed odd behavior and moved to another parking spot. But she got out, and as soon as she closed the door of the church, they got out, busted her window, and pulled the humongous bag that she left in the front seat of her car. So that was an easy target, and it was a quick way for them to escape. So if you're renting a car or if you're getting off the train station, just be observant of those people around you who may be acting odd, or it doesn't fit that situation or location. Another thing that you can do is when you get off the elevator in your hotel, you're going to, 1, already have your key ready to go. And number 2, if a person follows you off of the elevator, you're going to just keep walking, or you're going to stop, move to the side, and let them pass by. I went to a self-defense class like 20-something years ago, and that's what they said to do on a trail. If you hear somebody running behind you, which we all take walks sometimes on vacation, just move to the side and stop and let them go. It's odd behavior, but you feel safer, and maybe you are safer. When I was in Belgium all by myself, my number 1 condition is that I had a room by myself, and I'm so glad I did. But I did not do this safety tip. If this guy was a criminal, it could have been so awful. I had an actual key and I was walking. He was behind me, but he did not get off the elevator. He came from the other hallway, was right behind me, and I was trying to be fast. I had that key ready, but I swiped the door, and right when I went in, I went like that. He was walking by. He could have easily busted down the door. Thank God my guardian angels were watching over me, and he was just an innocent tourist. Another tip is to stay at a central location, because a crowd could be a good thing. And that way you're not walking down a dark, secluded alleyway to get home after your delicious food on Las Ramblas Street, for example. I suggest also going on a food group tour. A group food tour. You learn so much about the culture the first day. If you go on that food tour, you learn where the safer parts are or the safer restaurants are. Doesn't necessarily mean crime does not happen, but that gives you a heads up. Here's some travel hacks for a hotel room to help you feel safer and be safer if you're a female solo traveler. 1, you can put Post-it notes over the peepholes if that matters. Number 2, you can put the do not disturb sign on the doorknob even if you are out at dinner. So it makes a criminal think, oh, somebody's in that one, I'm gonna go to the next door. Another thing you can do is have the TV on in your hotel room. Number 4 is try the coat hanger travel hack. And you will need a lock or something at the top of the door because one coat hanger needs to hang on that, and then you would attach the other coat hanger to the handle, but I just slide it over, and that way it prevents someone coming in a little more. It's slowing them down so that I am not an easy target and it takes them too much time. They'll keep going. An important travel tip, I know in our social media world, I have been guilty of it before, but I am getting much better. Upload pictures after your trip, or at least on the last day of your trip. A rubber door stopper is a great travel essential for female travelers who are by themselves. It's easy to pack. It sticks under the door. Most of them, I have a banana one, but it's way too large. I was hoping so much that it would be suitable for travel, but it's way too big. They also make the doorstop that has an alarm so that if somebody does push the door in some, then it hits the alarm. I just feel like I would set that alarm off so many times, even in my suitcase in the overhead bins. They also make the very small, easy to use cameras, which I do not feel the need to use, but if that would help you feel better, you do that. You can set it up in your hotel room. Even while you're gone, it will do it just like the Ring system that you have at your house maybe. There's also a light that I have on one of my winter jackets, like if I'm going camping or on a road trip. And then there's this one right here. It's very bright. So if you do need it, it's going to be available and it stays on like for hours. So you could put that on your coat, especially if you're going to be walking at night, or you can put it on one of your bags. But then another travel tip is to make copies of your passport and email them to a friend or family member, as well as the address of the hotel. But whatever gadget or travel safety gear you do decide to pack, you have done your best by following these tips for female solo travelers. And you're going to have a wonderful vacation. The odds are very slim. So I want you to feel peaceful on the inside and get good rest while you're traveling. But I do know that that fear is real. And remember, many of our viewers have traveled a lot by themselves as females. And so check out the comments below for their great tips and then say hey if we have not met yet. Thanks for your time.